Ah, Ben, IELTS, right. Okay. Here we go. All right. In the institutes as well as the universities, there are basic requirements for the English language. That means IELTS, or TOEFL IBT, but mainly it means IELTS. So you want to talk about that a little bit and see what we've got. Smartcom is interested in promoting Ireland. That's because our founder and my boss, Mrs. Duke, has an idea that Vietnamese students should be able to be at 20,000 for the same year in Australia, England, the United States, or Canada. So it's a great value for money, and just because it's a value doesn't mean it's cheap. It's still good quality, a good quality education. All right? So let's briefly go, again, I don't want to keep you too long. Value for money than the universities. The practical side, the working side of an institute is very beneficial for students who want to complete a degree and actually have some experience doing what they're going to be doing in their career. So I think that's also very important. And the quality of the education is very high. In fact, the Irish universities, the students from Ireland, are the most highly qualified students in all of the European Union. That's how good the education system is there. That means that when you graduate, if you wish to stay in Ireland and work in your field, as Amy said, you can. And because you have a degree from Ireland and it's well known internationally, your employer knows how good you are. And because there are so many great companies in IT and pharmacology in Ireland, and you can get experience with them because all of their European offices are in Ireland, okay? You have an opportunity to get into the front door. Also a very good thing. And so you do get a good job when you graduate, and that's most important. You know what it's like to graduate in Vietnam or Laos or Cambodia or many countries in the world, and there you are waiting with everybody else to get a job. Okay? So it's important that if you are learning in a country that has a high employment rate on graduation, this is a good thing, okay? A very good thing. All right, so high employment rate, I think it's more friendly, less pressure for you to learn. It's something that you can do, and we are quite successful at it. It is accepted by the best institutions in the world. There was a time when people said, oh, no, nobody wants IELTS. That's not so anymore. More and more universities all over the world, including Princeton or Harvard, will accept IELTS. So it does have quality, okay, in the English language. And I think if you go overseas with only a 5.5, I think sometimes that presents a problem with your confidence. Will I be able to do it? So our course is designed to get you a higher level so that when you do go overseas, you're confident that you can work and study in an English environment. Scores for universities usually start at 6.5 or 7. And some, of course, are higher. The average to get into Dundalk, for example, in some of the institutes, in some programs, such as the business program, is 5.5. It doesn't mean that 5.5 is good enough and that's all you need. It means that you can start with 5.5. But we highly recommend that you try and get a higher score. All right, so Australia or Canada. How do you know? Because I've looked them up. Anybody can go onto any website and get the tuition fees for a year. And you can make a comparison yourself. Pay 40% of the cost of studying in Europe. For example, a full year tuition at an Irish institute will be about $13,000 or less. And did you know that Dublin is just a little older than Hanoi? Well, yes, 1,000 years. About, what was it, 4 years ago, 5 years ago? And so so it's good. 1,000 years, culture, Dundalk, Athlone, Tralee, Waterford, just some of the high technology institutions that we deal with here. The institutions are nicely modern. You can see clean, modern, spacious. A mat on the floor. You haven't noticed it? So this is not so bad. In fact, this one is better than my home. High-tech classrooms and labs, the very, very latest and the best of equipment are usually found in the institutes. As I said, because they're funded by the government, okay, they get the very best. And as Emir says, they don't wait around. They change their courses, upgrade their courses every 5 years. Why? Well, that's why the students are so successful. Because a student graduating from Dundalk or the institutes is modern, is up to date. Because the institutes don't stay with the same old program. They update and update. As technology advances and things change and more knowledge is acquired, the institutes adapt to that. So, you're going to be on the very cutting edge if you graduate. Modern lecture halls, which you can't see. Oh, real books. Now, I know some of you may, now that you're at the age of technology, I would like to remind you that these things on the shelf are called books. And your parents remember what they are. Some of you may not, because you're so busy going online. It's not all electronic. So you get real books. The Irish institutions have a limited number of places for Vietnamese or Chinese or other international students. And what they want is they want good students. You need to be a good student, okay, to get all the scholarships and get there. You can get there without them, but being a good student is very important. You're a good student and you can get rewarded with that by being accepted and, of course, by being able to graduate from a very good institution. IELTS preparation for study in Ireland, Irish culture classes, fast-track applications and visa. What it means is that we do the work for you. If you decide that you want to go to Dundalk or Athlone or some other institution, we've got the application forms, we've got the visa forms, we know exactly what we're doing now, we've got a good handle on it. You don't have to do any work, you don't even have to look up your course. You just tell us, I want to study blah blah, and the work and all the documentation we will handle for you, okay, and that's free of charge. We do that for you, so that you don't have to worry about this process. Okay, scholarship assistance, which we can do. Scholarships, we talked about a little bit. Dundalk offers scholarships. When you get to the master's degree level, if you're going to study a master's degree, Ideas Ireland, one of the partners with the Irish Embassy and the Government of Ireland and ourselves, I think offers this year 40 full scholarships. That means that for Vietnamese, in Vietnam, that means Vietnamese students are entitled to 40 full scholarships. That means airplane there, airplane back. All of your books, all of your courses, all of your accommodation, yes? All of a little bit of spending money. Everything 100% scholarship. And these are available through Ideas Ireland. And if you are a graduate and looking at a master's program, the scholarships available for master's degree students is quite high. Okay? So we have lots to do with that. Enterprise Ireland, Education in Ireland, Irish Aid, Government of Ireland, and the Embassy of Ireland are all involved with us in this project. So Smartcom is not operating alone. We're operating with our partners. All right? And we have been quite successful. We have a lot of support from the Irish Embassy. So everything you need to know is direct. Everything that you need to find out and application forms and documents you need are going to be done like that. Okay? In fact, one of my students, my IELTS students, Miss Phương, is sitting here with her lovely mother. We went to the embassy last week, and we were looking at Dundalk. And Miss Phương has been accepted at Dundalk. Process took 24 hours. for the acceptance. Now, all the other stuff is done, and then we're going to be working on the visa. So we can get it done directly, and we can get it done quickly, and we try to help out as much as possible. And we are very happy and very proud, and I think Dando is extremely happy that Miss Thong is the first official Vietnamese student for Dando. Right. So, what you're taking? Irish National Airlines, Aer Lingus, barely flying. But there they are. All right, okay? Book your ticket to your future. It is, it's a future, you should do that. Beautiful place to study, yeah, it's important, all right? 7.5, that's what it's about. Our target is 7.5. How do you get to Nando? How do you get overseas to a university? You have to go through IELTS or some other English preparation, all right? And our course, hopefully, will do that for you. We offer scholarships of 50 to 100%. If you come and take our free test, all right? So come and take our free test, and we only allow 20 students in the class. You're entitled to a 50 to 100% reduction in the course fee. So we can contact you and let you know in August when our next set of IELTS testing is going to take place. All right? If you take a score of less, you can take a regular IELTS course with us. You only need to take one, and that will put you in the next level, and then you can take the IELTS Special. IELTS Special is the special students. IELTS Special is the students who have a minimum of 5.5 and want to get higher, and our target is 7.5. And IELTS Special is primarily aimed at students who want to go overseas and who want to have a higher score than they have already. Intensive writing and speaking in every lesson, and vocabulary enhancement. Writing is the most difficult. Writing is very difficult. All my students will tell you that. They're all groaning. All right, I know it's difficult. Answer keys and explanation. Students need to be familiar with the 5 basic writing question types in Task 1. Writing, Task 1, Task 2. It's not a question of that you can write. It's a question of how do you write? How well do you write? And do you write what the examiner wants to see? And if you don't write what the examiner wants, it doesn't matter how well you write, you won't get a high score. So part of what we do is to let you know what the examiner wants and what you need to do. Okay, essays about describing graphs or a combination. Writing rules that you may not be used to. Academic writing rules apply. No contractions or abbreviations. No opinions to be expressed in Task 1. 150 words in 20 minutes. Question statements need to be paraphrased. All right? You'll be provided with the scoring rubrics, all right, so that you know exactly how your essay is going to be scored. And once you know how it is scored, then you can write an essay that meets all the requirements. So you need to know how it's scored and then write your essay. All right, academic writing class 2. Conjunctions can't be used either. No use of slang. Personal opinions on knowledge or experience are required. Generalizations should be replaced by specific and personal examples. Task 2 is all about telling the examiner what you think and why you think it. So there's no point in making a lecture, there is no point telling the examiner that you're some kind of an expert when you're not. Personal experience is very important. Right. Extensive writing practice required if you want to get a Task 2 essay in excess of 6.5. You have to understand what the question statement is asking, paraphrase it. You need to use original language and be able to increase the sophistication of vocabulary. Emphasis is placed on grammar structure, spelling, and vocabulary, 6.5. content organization, flow, fluency. 250 words, 40 minutes. One practices speaking by simply speaking. The speaking exam. All right? And my job is that I sit down with the student and we go through either the first, the second, or the third part of the speaking test. I interrupt. I do all sorts of things to... Why? Because one of the things that we need to do is that Vietnamese students, this group here, and a couple over here. Get a room yet? No. Are my students, and they are currently enrolled in the IELTS Special. In a few minutes, we're going to break. We're going to invite you for tea, coffee, and cakes. And when you see a student that has one of these scores here, ask me, of course, I'm going to tell you how wonderful. They'll tell you the truth. They'll tell you if it's good or not. They'll tell you if they learn anything or not. They'll tell you if I'm an idiot or not. And they're very honest, they'll tell you. Okay. Thank you very much again for coming this evening. And hopefully you have a little bit better understanding about what Ireland has to offer and also how to get there. All right? We still think Ireland is a great place to be. And we certainly encourage you to think of Ireland as an overseas study destination. All right? Is that fair? Would you like to have tea and coffee? Would you like to have some cakes? Would you like to have some chocolate pies? The only reason my students come to class every week and every day is to get the chocolate pie. Okay? Thank you very much. So please mingle, get some tea, coffee, talk to Emir, talk to students, help yourself.